So hello guys and welcome back. It's time for our second and sadly our last match for today. Like I said guys, it's going to be a short session for today because of everything going on with the typhoon and the like. We had the number of forfeits there in round number 1. But rest assured, your round number 2 gonna be even better when we get into this one. And I'm very excited for this game. So a while ago we had Zerg versus Protoss. This time we're gonna get Zerg versus Terran, and these are the teams facing off. It is gonna be Clem&Raynor versus NewAgent. So it's pretty obvious why NewAgent is called NewAgent, with New Vagabond and Agent X together there. But Clem&Raynor, these guys looking to impress, and let's see what Azin and Viol have to do right now. Many of these players very active in the SCPH Discord, including and especially Azin and Viol. So you already know that these guys are looking to put on a show. Agent X in the meantime and New Vagabond have been lovely members of the community for quite a while already. Very supportive, and it's good to see them here into the action. Our first map, though, will be coming your way very soon, and it seems like we are going to be getting a familiar map that we have seen so far in this broadcast. So first map here and now will be Rhoskallian. We still don't know what the other maps are. We still don't know what the bands are. So we are just going in blind and going to be going in to check these games out. Big shoutouts though to all our sponsors down below. ROG, Razor, Send, Mogul, Block 101, DLS Missile, Ice Bullet Productions, and Pure PC. You guys are tuning on in here at twitch.tv says DaksPH, and I thank you all for coming very short notice this afternoon. But as we are going to be getting into the game, don't forget, we still have that giveaway. The K19 Onikuma gaming headset and 1,000 pesos via BDO or Gcash gonna be up for grabs. So, actually, perfect time. If you guys don't know how the giveaway works, I am going to be able to get a memo here from our lovely commissioner, and here you are. So you have to go to the post itself. It's on Missile's page. I have a link there if you type in !mark giveaway. You have to heart and share the post. You have to like the page of DLS Missile. You gotta like and share DLS Missile page. You gotta like and share Pure PC's page. And then you comment on the post itself. Hashtag Pure PC, hashtag Alvarine, and hashtag DLS Missile, and tag 3 friends. Then, at the very end of everything, at the very end of the month, there will be a code to be given by us. So Mizzle already provided the first 2 codes in a video there. It's linked up on the giveaway. And my code today, guys, is the number 11. So there you go. Well, if you need your code, it's 11. That's it from me for that giveaway. It's up to you guys to add it up together. Actually, so Mizzle has given me the parts of it in the first place, and it really goes to show that there's still more to come. The last 2 codes themselves will be given during the semifinals and the grand finals, so you guys want to be tuning on in for those days and for those dates to check out who's going to be able to take care of business and take the gaming headset as well as the 1,000 pesos on their own. It's a great giveaway and a big shout out there, so you guys can check that one out. My code is 11, and I will show it on screen later on at the very end of the broadcast. Anyway, guys, it's time for us to get into our game. As we said a while ago, Rhoskallian LE is the map to be. These guys are ready to go, ready for the fights, and it's a ZVT, it's a ZNT versus a ZNT. Again, a mirror matchup coming our way. Very excited for this one, and it's time for us to get into the game. So hello guys, and welcome to our second and last round number 1 matchup for the day. Short but sweet session here in the dual meet number 2. Hopefully you guys are safe and sound after everything is said and done. And speaking of said and done, it's time for us to get done with this one and get into the game. Introducing first though, on the top left, you got your team of quote-unquote pros. You got Team Clem&Raynor. So, introducing first, it is our blue Terran. Well, is he cyan? I think it's cyan. That's a good color. Periwinkle, who knows what the colors are. But it is Terran, Mr. Viol. And, of course, the red Zerg, that is Mr. Azin. Their opponents, though, on the other side, we got Team NewAgent. You take 2 parts and then you just make it even better. Introducing first, though, on the south side, it is our purple Zerg, Agent X. As well as our real blue Terran, New Vagabond. So I'm gonna call Viol the Cyan Terran from now. New Vagabond will be the blue one. You got red and purple, which are very, very distinct colors, and we'll see what these two teams have in store for us. So a while ago, we saw the aggression in the P and Z matchup. This time, though, we are gonna see T and Z together on both sides, and we're gonna be expecting a lot here from the Zergs from the starting points. So immediately, Agent X gonna be going for the hatchery first, as in, we'll be going for the pool first, and we've seen a lot of success with the pool openings here and now in the 2v2. That early aggression with the Lings is just a bit, basically a heat check that comes out of nowhere. And Viola, in the meantime, gonna be going for the orbital command right now. Seems like, though, these guys are really gonna be looking to get their best Clem&Raynor impression between Team Clem&Raynor. Viola gonna be putting a supply depot here behind the vents as well to make sure that no Reapers are coming so far. So we said it a little while ago on Rhoskallian, it's a simple map. You look at the ramps, that's basically what this is all about. As in, though, already hampering whatever New Vagabond wants to do here. The SCP gets spotted, and the chase is on. Violdo going for a second base as well. And seems like for New Vagabond, the Reaper is the call so far. Has initial Reaper here and now, might be going for a second one as well. He's actually going for another set. So it's going to be a Reaper rush here from New Vagabond. Not a bad idea, but you want to see them on the same page, and that really allows you to do the best you can. If Agent X can bring in Lings to really support this, then that's going to be a harassment both on the front line as well as the back. Some proper micro here from New Vagabond will really allow him to get some good worker kills. And we'll see how this is going to work. BRB changing my name to Vagabond. I love that stuff. And I love that you guys are here to check this one out. As we said, very last minute, a bit of a delay from yesterday. We had some issues there trying to make sure that every game was submitted. And now that we have all the matches up and running, then it's time for us to wrap up round number 1. Round number 2 has actually begun as well. So if you guys are tuning on in there, don't forget to get your game started into the second set here in the dual meets. We will be going all the way till November 30 to go for the grand finals live. So I cannot wait for that as well. Anyway, New Vagabond onto the high ground right now. Viola, in the meantime, bringing in the Marines. And he is just going to be marching them forward. The Overlords saying hi to each other, having a bit of a conference, but suddenly the conference can get broken because that is going to be a disconnection onto the Overlord there. New Vagabond, though, with the Reapers right now marching on forward, looking to go for the push. There we go, though, with the Lynx going to be at the front line as well. And here comes the cluster bomb, but no, he bounced it himself! And that is just the worst thing New Vagabond can do. It's like you put the rock in the way and you trip on it yourself, full face plant, and that just has to hurt New Vagabond. He steps on his own mine, and he's the one who pays the price for it. Good interception there from Viol and Azin. And now with these cheap units already going for the push, you already know that the aggression is coming here from the side of Clem&Raynor. Azin will be going for the march and the start first. Metabolic boost on the creep, and there you have it. When you're playing against Zerg, you don't want to overextend your creep because your opponent can use it. And for now, Azin looking to take advantage of the creep spread here from Agent X so far. Perfect place, perfect time to allow these Lings to go for the surround. And the Bailings even gonna get a boost there. Look at how Azin has gone for his own creep spread, only making sure that it's on their spaces so far. So sometimes when you're a little too eager on the expansion, this is what happens in a 2v2. Multiple times we have seen the aggression punish the passive play, we have punished the macro, and will it be the same case here? Because New Vagabond right now trying to get his own bunker. Here comes the push as Viol also bringing in the siege tank, and it seems like it is going to be some old school stuff here from Viol. The medevac, the siege tank, the Marines are there trying to form continuity so far. Bailings are also going to be the bouncers here and now, and there we go with the smash on down onto one. Shock cannon gets the hit. Surgeons will die so far, and the Marines right now trying to stem the tide, trying to hold the line, and Azin keeping a bomb into place as well. Here comes the push though from Azin, even more so Agent X to answer back with their own Lings, and in a case like this, the Overlords will try to get the hell out of there because the Marines are just going to bully them along the way. New Vagabond though already with the SCPs there, and then Azin right now with the Banelings still holding on for dear life, and refuses to blow up onto a single thing. This time though, there we go with the cleanup as Viol will keep that siege tank alive. Good stuff with the artillery here from Viol. He's keeping the siege tank alive to maximize the DPS, but New Vagabond able to answer back And this timing attack here from Viola and Azin, not going to work the same way that they would like. They got the initial advantage there, especially shutting down the potential third base here from Agent X. But no, it's still not going to be enough to seal the deal because New Vagabond is already prepared for it. Stalled for time with the bunkers and even the SCPs. This time, that's going to be the Viking as well as Siege Snack doing the same kind of DPS. And without the bouncers, without the Banelings there from Azin, Agent X in cleanup house. This will force Viola and Azin to back on away. Now, in all honesty, we look at the backgrounds here from these players. Azin, probably the highest ranked player here, playing a lot in the Masters bracket. Everyone else within the gold to diamond range, but have always been contenders here and there. We see Joel a lot, we've seen Agent X a lot, we see New Vagabond a lot along the way, and these guys are just so very competitive in what they want to do. Really bring it to StarCraft 2. And in all honesty, it's been a while since I've casted some StarCraft, right? It's great to be back to be able to do something like this. It's great that we have the month-long system now for SCPH, not only to make it easier for you guys, but also makes it easier a lot for me to actually fit these things in. And if you aren't watching right now, then you can always enjoy the VODs when they're up on YouTube. Anyway though, Vikings get the cleanup onto the Overseer there. Here comes Azin now with another force. And for now, I like what Clem&Raynor are really doing. They're taking a lot of map control against the side of NewAgent. And at the very least, they are handling as much as possible of what kind of expansion Agent goes to do. But that's a big boom from the side of the Purple Zerg. Cleanup onto the initial force. And the Banelings getting maximum value right there. Hey, it's time for cleanup on aisle 10 because that is just going to be a splatter to remember. Great stuff. And the Young Gun still keeping this one up. Azin though has already changed his build up and has gotten into the Spire setup here and now. 3 base Muta, very standard here from our Zerg. You can easily transition from the Lynx to the Mutas to go for that high ground, to go for that air harassment. And with a case like this, he's also doubling down on the +2 here on the Evo Chamber. In the meantime, New Vagabond trying to set up his own bio ball. You always want to see it from a Terran Marines with Simpack. They are just going to be a force to be reckoned with. Zillow, what's the meter plan here for the rest of the crew? Agent X already with centrifugal hooks means that the Banelings are going to be speedy there. Same thing though for Azin, and speaking to Sita right now, it's just Azin looking around trying to see if there's anything amiss on a map like this. Speaking of missing things, right? In a 2v2, sometimes you just don't notice your opponent going somewhere else, and Agent X can be looking to go all the way on the southwest and look for the flank so far. Perfect angle right now against the Sport. Azin gonna get harassed for that time being, but here comes the Lynx also looking to react, and they're trying to run away from each other. It's time for the marathon between the Lynx Blood so far, and seems like Agent X at least gets a bit of a reaction there from Azin, but here comes the push from Fuel this time. Here comes the shot cannon though from the Siege Tank, gets some DPS, and the snip back really hurting so far onto the Marines. The Siege Tank gets the final blow, but finally they gap close, and they are gonna be close enough to get the takedown. This is going to be a line of Siege Tanks keeping up the pressure, and that's going to be another big Baneling hit here from Agent X. Viol and Azin trying to keep their masses alive, but unfortunately for them, Agent X and New Vagabond in get good positions. But this time though, there seems like to be no answer for the people as well, and this is going to be Azin right now dominating the sky grounds. So far so good from the Mutas here, and now gets rid of the Marines, systematically, automatically picking them apart. And these bats are absolutely out of hell and making sure everything else down below is out of time. As of right now, even harassing the SCV line here, and this is the perfect place for Azin to do this. There is no anti-air whatsoever. The cleanup onto the Marines have been, well, basically emancipated, and it is now time for Fuel to march on forward. The high ground has been taken. Now it is going to be Agent X and New Vagabond literally on their last legs because the high ground is all they have now for their advantage. New Vagabond though trying to go for the cleanup, to take apart a few Mutas here and there, but the medevac to save the day, slap a band-aid onto the bats, and it is good to go. Always good to see in the 2v2 the interactions between some units, and you can heal pretty much anything the Zerg has with the medevac. Perfect timing, perfect composition here from Bill to just keep the Bioball alive and keep the top up on. One Mutalist will go down, but now it's time to go for the push. Scat comes online, sees the high ground. Goodbye to the Siege Tank there, and here comes more. GG is called by New Vagabond. Will Agent X tap out as well? There you have it. It seems like our pros will do it here now. Clem&Raynor will take game number 1 after a good back and forth. What a match that was. Viola and Azin will take it there. And I gotta say, for Viola and Azin, they could really smack their heads on the wall. And Agent X answers back with the Banelings. New Vagabond answers back with the Siege Tanks. But the map control was just too much to handle. We really see Azin and Viol squeeze out as much as possible there from Rhoskallian. And from what they did there, they took more bases, they took more minerals, they kept things up. And they were able to really stop Agent X in her tracks, right? Even though Agent X had like the best Baneling hits there, it just wasn't enough because it was more of the bailout rather than the harassment. When you see Baneling hits like that, you're like, wow, that saves you, yes. But it's still not a hit onto the worker line. It's still not a hit onto, well, you allow a clash to actually go your way. It allows you to survive, but then what did they do after surviving there? Not really too much. They tried to play the same pace, but then already their opponents were ahead. And when your opponent is ahead in StarCraft, you already know that more units coming your way. And we saw Azin and Viol do exactly that. So that was game number 1, guys, and that is going to be a win for Viol and Azin. Polka LE going to be map number 2. Interesting that everyone is really picking up this new map. Really goes to show that this might be what they have been practicing so far. But a great first game, and we still have a second one here. And now, can the new Agent Squadron actually make this a game number 3? Or will Viol and Azin wrap it up here and now for this set? We already saw a team move on. It was Team No Name between Floki as well as Nux. The rest of the crew who have moved on here in round number 2 have been Bostik, Tapal, Yeror Esports, or basically that's Malapate and Mizzle. We also have Tinitas beating down on day 1. So this is the last match really of the day. This is going to be a big one, and it's time to find out who will win here on this map. Polka LE is the place to be. And let's get into our second game. So hello guys, and welcome back. It's time right now for game number 2. And we already have a lead here for Team Clem&Raynor. Introducing first though, on the southeast side, it is Clem&Raynor. And who is the Clem to my Raynor? That's going to be a question there, because I already see the Science Heron that is Viol and the Red Zerg that is Azin. Clem&Raynor, more like Viol and Azin. These guys are the ones looking to impress, and with their teamwork there, with their aggression, and with the fact that they were able to really hamper whatever the opponents wanted to do, that was their winning point. But now, we saw some amazing clutch plays here from the other team. Team NewAgent looking to get introduced here on the northwest side. First things first, it is our blue Terran, New Vagabond, and our purple Terran also, Agent X. Oh wow. So I did get a memo, Agent X actually playing random here. I put the Zerg logo up there, but apparently it's a question mark to surprise, and that is gonna be interesting because now we suddenly see a ZT turn into a TT. No, nothing really vulgar there, because with 2 Terrans on the roll, you are gonna see a lot of Marines go for this one. I really did not notice that this was actually random. I might have just not seen it coming there. But now I'm really excited for this game because 2 Terrans are better than 1. And we'll see if Agent X and New Vagabond can work together to make this one happen. So I'm very excited for that. Of course, I'll correct that later on into the VOD pictures itself. But for now, it is going to be Viol. Look at the scout, and New Vagabond, come on. Close the door, man. Close the door. So he lets the SCV in, and now everything is spotted. And you are exposed, good sir. You are exposed, and Viol is just like, okay, I've seen enough. Time to get the hell out of there. 2 Terrans have been confirmed. It really just is them looking to figure out what race Agent X is actually playing right now, because I don't think she said anything. I'm not too sure. Let's look at the chat real quick. Yeah, she only said good luck, have fun. So it is up to them to figure out what is going on the other side. So now it's a TVT. They can still play the same way they want to go with. Baneling's going to be very effective. They can go for the Zerglings as well. They can't go for the Muta if Mike heard correctly, and we'll see how Asin is gonna play it out, but he decides to go for his Roach opening instead. Now we see this a lot from Asin. He can go for a 2-base all in with the Roaches, and he can also go for the Burrow tech if need be. So we'll find out if that's gonna be the plan of action so far. Here from Yoldo, he's playing more standard. He's going for the 1-1 with the expand along the way. No starport as of yet. And of course, Asin is just scouting around, trying to see if there's anything cheeky happening here. Anyway though, Agent X looking to set on up to the low ground. And here on Polka, I wasn't able to talk about it much last time because it was a really quick game. But it is going to be the 2 bases basically having 1 ramp, but 1 side path. Minerals are there to try and be harvested by the other side if they want to take that path. And it is a bit different from many 2v2 maps because you usually see only this, and that's that to get into the natural line. So more of an opening here and now in terms of the map structure though. When you get to the low ground, it becomes very, very dangerous to expand to a 3rd. So we see a bunch of teams look to play the 2 base and then the aggression because it's just so very hard to hold many of these spots except this one here on the low ground. You usually have 1 safe expansion, right, in a 2v2. 1 safe expansion for the 3rd and 1 risky expansion, which is still within a safe distance from the 2nd base, but it isn't as accessible to the 2 defenders. So it really goes to show that you have to decide who gets that spot, who's the better macro player, who needs more resources. As Yo right now is going to be bringing the Hot Wheels and scouting on the round. So we're going to get that clean up. New Vagabond already with the Siege Tank, and he is going to be having that 1-1-1 expansion with the Tech Lab to play with a 2nd Rax. So we're expecting some upgrades here and now by the around 6-minute mark here from New Vagabond. Would be surprised to see him do it earlier. He's going for a Liberator though on the side of Viol, and seems like for Viol, the plan of action is to pump some more Marines here and now. So it seems like the plan here for the 2 of our players. For New Vagabond, Reactor Tech on the starports, it's all about Medivacs or Vikings. Here for, well, Viol, since it doesn't even have an add-on, the Liberator go for harassment, and we'll see what it can do. Agent X though on the other side, Tech Lab here for the starport, and are we gonna get any of those Banshees into play? Seems like it's not the case. Armory gonna be being built here as well, +1 going online, and finally we see the first injection, the first vaccine here from New Vagabond. He's the first one to go for Step Back, and he's gonna be looking to make it happen. As though in the meantime, he doesn't want to get choked up here on his own ramp, and he's clearing out the rocks. Now this is going to be a good idea for them because if they actually get stuck here against 2 times the siege tanks, then that's twice the damage, and that's twice the KO. Anyway though, still more of the scouts. Liberated right now, going over to the north side. We are gonna get Carapace here from Asin, and I'm really surprised he didn't even bother rather to go for the burrow. But of course, the Terran will have the detection with the scans from the orbital command. But hey, it's a very, very cheeky way to go about things, and Asin is a very cheeky player. Spore Crawler though, in play onto the 2nd base, and Asin already going for the 3rd down below. He's the first one to actually get that 3rd expansion in this game. We'll see what New Vagabond and Agent X are going to be up to so far. Really, when you look at the 2v2, it really feels like that it is a lot bigger, that this game has a bigger scope than what you see in 1v1. For now, Asin actually getting into the middle line, and that forces Agent X to pull everything there immediately. New Vagabond might be doing the same case. There we go though with the shots. I like the fact though that this siege tank is on siege, so it doesn't do splash damage, but already there was the shock cannon from 1. Overseer though gonna get spotted. There go the Vikings looking for the harassment and looking for the catch. And New Vagabond saying, no sir, you're not getting in here anytime soon. And chases on to get that final kill. So overall, a bit of a standstill here from both sides. We're not seeing too much aggression here from Asin. We expected more besides the Ling run by. But hey, if he wants to go for the macro, then he can do it. 3 base Spire play is the way to go. Muta's gonna be up in the air as well. And we saw how well Asin actually did the build a while ago. He got the Mutas into play at the right time. He got the Mutas to actually go for the harassments. And it was very, very effective, to say the least. Engineering Bay, though, now being built here by New Vagabond on the low ground with supply depots to keep it up, and a sensor tower nearby to the minerals. Now, I like this because it does get that detection here on the left side. It gives you a lot of intel, and it even goes all the way to the side here of the map. So a good call to plop this one down here and now, and if it gets broken, then you already know someone is looking to harvest these minerals and looking to knock on your other doorstep. Scandos comes on in. And this seems to be that kind of game where it's all about macro right now. In the case of workers though, you can really see for Viola and Azin, they have such a good lead. And this is where they can keep ahead, especially in a setup like this. When you don't have any of those, well, workers to maximize your economy, and that becomes a bit of a problem. For some reason though, why are there no shadows? Interesting. That I changed something, but in any case, it just might be the colors of the map itself. HJX though going to the low ground already. Here comes the hunt even more so onto the Overlord of Azin though, as New Vagabond just wants to supply block the Zerg so far. And I like the call here from New Vagabond. Being aggressive just like this, hunting down these balloons is the best way to pop the bubble that Azin is trying to build. For now though, 8 minutes in, we're finally gonna get Burrow. We'll see. Are we also gonna get Tunneling Claws along the way? Mutas though gonna be into play. We are gonna get +1 here from Azin so far. Infestation Pit also gonna be online. And this means Hive Tech will be the next agenda here for Azin for now. So though, there we go with the Raven. You see a bit of the push there, but Azin just decides to back on away instead. So Agent X actually deciding to go a completely different direction. Didn't notice it immediately, but she went for the Raxus, and then she went for the factories. So not only is she playing Bio, but she's also playing Mech. And the Thor is actually a very good unit against the Mutaball there. One big splash from the missile is going to be such an effective way to really shut them down. But of course, you have to catch them first. And it's a catch me cat and mouse game. It's catch me if you can kind of set up there between the Thors and the Mutas themselves. And we'll find out right now if Azin can get the scout that they need. Already looking for the Rasp here on the low ground. But there you go. Exposition has been spotted. There is a big hulking robots on the ground. And that is the Thor looking to strike when the iron is hot. As we are getting later and later into this game, we're getting some bigger and better armies. And Biol and Azin creeping closer and closer to the 200 mark. They're trying to get there as much as possible, and for some reason, did the map color just change from red to green? Is this how this map works? Does it just change colors out of nowhere? Because for some reason though, Azin also cleaning up the missile turrets here on the right-hand side. Is there a day-night cycle that I don't know about? Because suddenly, things are looking very, very bright here on Polka. Someone tell me what's going on with this map. I need to know what is happening here. But anyway, Azin gonna be still there. Viol taking a lot of ground. And we're actually seeing from this game that these two armies have basically said, this is my side of the map, this is your side of the map. Please stay there until we fight. Those classic 200 setups. But Viol is the first one there. He is going to be the milestone to watch out for. New Vagabond though on the hunt. And I like how New Vagabond has been really going for these death squads to go for the push. The Marines and the Vikings shutting down everything and everywhere. It really just goes to show that this is going to be the setup as of the moment. Now then though, the scans are going to be online. There we go with Azin right now, looking to hug some of these rocks. And it's very interesting that no one has been blowing up these rocks so far. Now here on Polka, it is just going to be a way to funnel your opponents. If you don't break the rocks, or if they don't break the rocks, they don't have really a choice on where to go if they just go for the diagonal move. So this time, it seems like for New Vagabond and Agent X, they're going to let be. They're going to be looking to set up by where the exploits are going to happen. And they're going to be going for more bases on the inside part of the fight. And Azin is the first one there. The Bailings are trying to roll on in, but the Thors are just so hokey. And they're just so tanky to say, no sir, you're not going to be going anywhere and anytime soon. Back on the way going to be in order. But for now, a Baneling drop is the answer here from Azin. And this is what we wanted to see in that first game from Agent X. Now can Azin show us how it's done, because Biol is going to bring a big bulk of side units already in position. There we go. The Infurious Matrix going to shut down those siege tanks for the time being, and they get to clean up there. Liberation Stones are going to be in order as well. Agent X going to be looking to hold alongside New Vagabond on the right-hand side, but Azin will take the opportunity to actually go for the final blow onto the northeast instead. Biol with a big army, and he stares down the two Terrans and say, I can take you on, I can do it here and now. And the Thors cannot stand a chance against the siege tanks in behind. Biol keeping up the pressure, keeping things along the way. Azin though, trying to go for the hurt, but it seems like he has been cleaned up. And Agent X right now, SCP is getting blown up here and now. Mana Mules being dropped to go for the repairs on the siege tanks themselves. And Biol has just taken command of this game. That 200 army stares down everyone and says, I can handle this right now. And it's now time for the second blow. You get the gut punch here from the side of Biol. And this time, this is the uppercut waiting to happen. Out of nowhere, from the shadows, or in this case, from the ground, the Night Swarm will pop, the Weasel will get popped there, and it's not gonna happen onto the main base. Sad to see as trying to make that one work, but hey, you can always reinforce anywhere else. Cannon gonna be next on the list here for Biol. He's really just saying, I can build whatever the hell I want, so I'm gonna go for BCs later on. He's going for 2 starports. That is the ultimate late game for a Terran player, and Biol knows it. The more capital ships he has flying on around, the better it becomes. And as of the moment, Vagabond gonna lose that direction there. Here comes Biol right now, going for commanding spot, and these Vikings are just out in front. Liberation here from Vagabond gonna be a good place to set on that defender zone is the way to go. And here comes Azin right now, looking to find the help on that. 2 become 1 here between Biol and Azin. And it seems like Clem&Raynor looking to work as well together yet again. Biol right now into the front line. And just the difference in numbers being such the deal breaker here. We saw Agent X and Vagabond keep up on the tech, but unfortunately, the worker count as well as the numbers were the problem there. And it wasn't even Biol and Azin doing anything. It was just them playing a macro game better than their opponent. Biol making it to 273 workers for him. Azin in the meantime, on how many bases? He has 5 of these up and running. He has 92 workers, and he can just reinforce as much as he would like. Azin though, going for more of these Night Swarms, just letting them be. And now you have to choose between doors A, B, and C, because all of them will bring your death. There we go with the Zergs yet again, going for the harassment, going for the damage. One more time. Siege tanks right now trying to stay alive, but no, the flood of links is just too insurmountable. And in front, in behind, everything getting torn apart. And this is just the chances of NewAgent slipping through the cracks. It might be time for them to go back to training. It might be time for them to go back to boot camp, because this is just the pros showing us how it's done. Clem&Raynor looking impressive and looking to move on. But it's not done yet. A last hurrah here from Vagabond and Agent X. They have around 80 units overall, 80 army count to try and hold the line. But against what Biol and Azin have, it might be too insurmountable, because these 2 players are all maxed out again, and now they're just going for every single upgrade they can. We're getting afterburners here from Biol. We're getting +3. We're getting +3. We're just getting the Ultraless upgrade, because Azin has made it to the promised land to play Ultras in the first place. And does he even have those units? No, he doesn't. Broodlord's instant, getting the up in the sky, clearing up house, and here comes the punch yet again. On the ground we go. Here comes the siege tank, still bringing more of the damage, but the shock cannons will hold the line so far. But how long can it last? Biol right now going for the anti-air here now. And without any defenders here for Agenix as well as Vagabond, this just might be the case. A little bit of a dance there from Biol to flip on around. And they already know that they have this one in the bag. They are just systematically dismantling their opponents, trying to oppress them as much as possible. In a case like this, without anything to protect these siege tanks, it's only a matter of time till this position is overrun. Night Swarm though coming in behind, and finally it's time for the debut. The Ultralists are here, and this is game, set, and match. The March of the Elephants are hulking on over. And overall, just a better game played by Biol and Azin. They understood how to play that macro really well. They kept themselves in the fight no matter what. They saw their opponent wasn't really doing anything to them, so they kept on with the worker count. While we saw Vagabond really go for the hit squads to just try and mitigate any early aggression, it just wasn't enough. Biol and Azin understood where this game was going, and they have made it to the late game. They have made it to the promised land, and these Ultras are just a sight to behold. Like now, NewAgent will just look in the mirror and say, where did it all go wrong? And we can really see where and why. The work count just a little too much to handle. And Azin and Biol just so in the money. 7,000 minerals here for Azin, 5,000 for Biol. They are swimming in money right now. They're swimming in all the capital they want, and they have swum in just to dominate this game. Not too much to say besides that this game is basically over. Agent X and Vagabond trying to go for a last stand of the Alamo, but Azin is just enjoying his time with these Ultras. Thor's though still going to be into play, and Agent X looking for that last stand again. He has 61 army count right now with the 24 workers trying to keep up the production. And these stores are going to be a very, very good unit to try and hold. But the big problem right now is she doesn't even have any of these armory upgrades for these stores so far. And the opponent has +3 online on pretty much anything. Yoldo is marching these things in. Basically now, this is going to be ramping out. The box is going to get broken. But this is just it. What a dual meet this has been. We saw a really, really fun first match. We saw Floki and Nux just play the aggression and dominate their opponent. This time, we're getting some macro, we're getting some different builds, and we've really made it to the top of the food chain, top of the sanctuary phase. But with Azin and Viol just having every little advantage that they can have, they already know that this game is theirs for the taking. And with the battle cruisers here and now, it's time for the 21 tons to move. Put your arms up for Viol and Azin because they will take this set 2-0 in this win in round number 1, and they will move on to the second round. Absolutely well played there by Viol and Azin. You said it before, the worker count was the number to watch out for, and they just did it there. Rhoskallian and Polka taken by Viol and Azin, and I like what I see here, especially from Viol. I don't see him as often as Azin, and in a case like this, really, really impressive. Doing as much as he can to make it to that 200 mark first, having a big army count there, knowing the balance between mules and the army alongside the workers, and while Azin was just trying to have some fun with different builds, Viol was the one who took control of that game. That 2v1 between the Terrans was just a showcase of how Viol was able to get ahead and stay ahead. Now, I like, as I mentioned, what you Vagabond did with the hit squads. The Vikings were a really good call to hamper the opposition, prevent draws from happening anywhere and everywhere. And I like that we saw Agent X go for the Thors there to change it up, but it just was too much to handle. And the numbers were the difference, the numbers were the advantage, and the two numbers will go over to Clem&Raynor to move on to round number 2 with those wins. So there you go, guys. A great round number 1. Like I said, a short session, and our 8 teams left in the running are the ones in round number 2. We got Mr. Suwabi versus Team No Name. We got HD Gaming versus Postik Tapaliero Esports. We got Team Q versus Team Tinitas. And we got Moonstar Duo versus Clem&Raynor. These games are going to be played starting today all the way till, let me just get confirmation of that, but I believe at the start of next week. Dual Meet number 2, as we said, happening all the way till November 30. Gotta give shoutouts though to all our teams so far who have been eliminated. Mitsusoup, Stimpakadex, Day 1, as well as NewAgent, especially Mitsusoup and NewAgent, who gave us some great games to watch out for. So today is the first day of round number 2 for all of our players. The last day of submission will be November 22, which is a Sunday. So make sure your games are going to get played because I can't wait to cast them like this. And then we are going to have the semifinals between next week, and then whatever is left. Seems like the last few days before the grand finals will be that third map, that third place matchup, and I cannot wait for all of these games. 2v2 is a very, very messy system, but it is absolutely enjoyable to watch and absolutely a fun thing to see, especially if your team is completely on point. But there you go, guys. But before we go, one more thing. Like I said before, I am going to be putting the giveaway there. Yes, my cat is just cute. This is Machi. She's an adorable, adorable cat. And I'm going to be putting the codes one more time. These are your codes for the giveaway. I'm just going to be plopping them on screen just to make sure that you guys can see them and especially be able to join it. Don't forget, we have a K19 Onikuma gaming headset and 1,000 pesos via Gcash up for grabs. So you already know that it is going to be a pleasure, really, for whoever wins this. It's a great, great headset courtesy of Pure PC. And already we've seen so much support here. Look at how many logos we have down below. It really just shows us that we have gotten so much support from the community, so much support from the scene, and we really appreciate and really, really accommodate anyone and everywhere for basically supporting us as much as possible. The semis and finals semis, finals. There you go. So the last codes will be given on semis and the finals. And here you go. Here's your first look at everything being done. So these are your codes. We already got DLS and Mizzle from his broadcast. And your round one number code is 11. So you put that all together, you should have DLS Mizzle 11. And you still need to wait for 2 more codes for this between the semifinals and the grand finals. So everyone can only finish their codes by November 30 because we're going to be doing that live and basically looking to enjoy and see who is going to be able to win the headset and the 1,000 pesos there. 4,000 pesos up for grabs in the whole tournament, as well as 70k Razer Silver, courtesy of a partners there between Mogul and Razer. We also have Pure PC, Block 101, Ascend, ROG, and we are broadcasting here between Daks PH as well as Ice Boys Productions, and of course organized by DLS Mizzle. So I hope you guys were able to check that one out. And I hope you guys were able to, well, add that to your collection. We've exposed our next code on the list, DLS Mizzle 11, with 2 more to go. And round number 1 is a wrap. I thank you guys for tuning on in for today. This afternoon. It's a great way to start things off for the day, or at least be in the midpoint mark, and I cannot wait for more matches. This has been your round number 1 Duel Meet 2 number broadcast. VODs and replay pack will be up by tonight since it's a very, very short setup anyway, and I cannot wait to see more from all of our teams here. Thank you guys for tuning on in. Thank you guys for coming, and I'll see you guys in the next one. This has been the SCPH Duel Meet number 2, round number 1.